Hi there, it's me the Jonin Monkey again, and welcome back to VGT Side Quest. If there's one lesson I should really learn, it's do not tempt fate. That or create backups, because as soon as I announce a glut of new content for this channel, the external hard drive I was using to store my footage suddenly died with no explanation, meaning that a good chunk of the stuff I had been planning to do is going to be delayed for some time until I can get the footage back. That doesn't mean I won't be making any videos for this channel, it's just that the schedule I had planned has now been thrown out and is replaced with something I'm having to make on the fly. That said, I will need some more preparation time, so to tide you guys over, I put together this video which will be covering my first impressions of games I'm playing right now, reactions to a couple of news stories, and some teasers about the revised schedule for this channel. Sadly, I've had to put Earthbound and Thomas Was Alone on hold for a moment, simply because I'm playing far too many games right now. Plus, I also gave in to my urge to play Fire Emblem Awakening for a third time. And I'm not gonna lie, it has been really enjoyable, especially now that I bought the Exponential Growth DLC, which makes grinding so much easier. Oh, and to anyone replaying this game, I'd recommend trading Sayuri so that she can fight the bosses during the Walhart arc, since she gets some unique conversations that gave me a lot more respect for her character. Trust me, you won't regret it. I've also been playing more of Dust and Elysian Tales since the last video, and whilst the story is still simplistic, the plot has been getting more and more interesting, and it's thrown some nice surprises along the way. I've also started on another independent title, Crimson Shroud, which you can buy on the 3DS eShop. It's a very interesting experience, as it is basically a virtual role-playing game. And no, I don't just mean that it has stats and classes, I mean it is literally a virtual role-playing game. Everything about this game is a recreation of playing stuff like Dungeons and Dragons. The combat system revolves around dice, all of the characters are figurines, the locations look like they've been built with model pieces, and the story is read out to you in a manner similar to a Game Master. It is a unique experience, and the lore is quite interesting, so I will definitely come back to this game, even if this Minotaur did kick my ass the last time I tried to play it. But right now, my main focus has been Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Now, I'm a big Donkey Kong fan, but I'll try to remain professional and not freak out over this game, as much as I want to. I'll freely admit that the plot is simplistic, but the game makes up for it with an incredible atmosphere and great world building. First, you have the new enemies, the Snowmads, who completely outclass the Tiki Tak Tribe with their personality and menace within the first few seconds of the opening cutscene, making them a unique and welcome addition to Donkey Kong's Rogues Gallery. Second, each level gives this wondrous sense of going on a journey through unknown lands, partly because of David Wise's awesome soundtrack, but also because of Retro's attention to detail, creative level ideas, and the background animations that makes each level feel like a living world, rather than a bizarre obstacle course that floats in space. In short, I am loving this game so far, and if you're a fan of Donkey Kong or good platforms in general, then for goodness sake, buy it! All this talk about platforming mascots also helps me to segue into my first news story. Sonic fans have known for a while that a new Sonic animated series called Sonic Boom was in development. However, several weeks ago we found out that the cartoon will also have a game to go alongside it, which will not only act as the prequel to the cartoon, but serve as the birth of a second official continuity, in a manner similar to what Marvel did with their Ultimate Universe. On top of that, the game is being developed by Big Red Button Media, with Rob Raffay of Uncharted and Jax fame taking the helm. Raffay has already stated that the game will have a stronger narrative focus, with our heroes facing a darker villain, and whilst the gameplay will have speed, there will also be a stronger focus on teamwork. There is a lot to talk about and very little time to chat, so I'll keep my opinions brief. I'm okay with the redesigns for the most part, and Sonic looks surprisingly good with a scarf, but I dislike Sonic's awkward looking long legs, and whilst I get what the wraps are for, I am wondering why someone needs to wrap up their own shoes. Regarding the cartoon, it looks like a hit or miss affair with me. Sonic and Eggman's banter has always been hilarious, but the other jokes have fallen flat with me so far, and when you consider that this is an action comedy, that's not a good sign. As for the game, I'm cautiously optimistic about it, and I am gonna buy it just to see how this new continuity turns out. But I'm really hoping that the similarities to past Sonic failures is just an unfortunate coincidence. The second piece of news is the sad closure of Irrational Games, the creators of many critically acclaimed story-based games such as the Bioshock series. However, the closure wasn't brought about by the loss of money or narrow-minded producers, but the desire of Ken Levine to create different kinds of games with smaller development teams that can have a deeper connection with gamers. Whilst I haven't had the opportunity to play any of Levine's work, I will be sad to see the departure of a AAA studio that focuses on narrative, if only because I'd rather not have the gulf between independent games and mainstream games widen any further. Still, I respect any artist who takes a risk to pursue their passions, so I wish Levine and his team all the best. And hopefully successful games like The Last of Us will ensure that narrative-driven games won't completely disappear from the AAA scene. And now to close this video off with some news regarding the show. First, I have now bought a PlayStation 3 since the prices were going down and Tales of Symphonia HD has been released. In other words, you can now request PlayStation 3 games. Go, 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 comment, comment, comment! As for future videos, a good chunk of the stuff I had planned for VGT SideQuest is gonna have to wait for a moment, as the only spare game footage I have right now is for the DC fighting game, Injustice Gods Among Us. And I'm having trouble deciding if that would make a good multi-part review or work better as a short standalone review. That said, the SA2 footage should be easy enough to get back, so that project shouldn't be delayed for too long. And since I have to start again, I can always create a new schedule out of whichever games I feel like playing or whatever pops up first in my rental queue. And if the gap between videos does get too long, I can always make editorial videos like these ones since they require less footage. As for the main VGT episodes, if I can repair some corrupted footage, I should be able to proceed with the Fragile Dream review, and the Fire Emblem Path of Radiance review was recorded by a third party, so that can go ahead once I make contact with them, apologise profusely, and then re-download their footage. But if neither of those options go ahead as planned, I still have footage for another game that I've wanted to talk about on the show for a while. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. Oh, and in case anyone cares, I have a Twitter account now, and on it, I'll be commenting about the progress of my videos and random thoughts about the games I'm currently playing. And that's all for now. I've been a Jonin Monkey, and until next time, cheerio.